guys. So a few videos ago, I posted a video of me like singing an old song I wrote when I was younger. You guys really enjoyed it. And I was going through boxes the other day and I found these. No, they are not more songs, they're stories. So the stories in this notebook I wrote at 11 years old, and this story I think I wrote much younger. I'd like to say it was 9 or 10. I'm just so excited. In this book we have 3 mini stories and they are about paranormal and horror, because even to this day I'm all about the paranormal activity, all about the horror. I love it. And this is the Hunger Games, but it is Rue's side of the story. So like, you know, the little girl that dies, you're seeing the story from her point of view. I'm gonna be reading them for you today. I'm so excited. So without talking any much more, let's just get into it. So I think we're going to leave the Hunger Games one till last, so definitely stick around for that. But we're going to start with a notebook, and the very first story is called The Girl That Cried Ghost. The Lego. They say there's no such thing as ghosts. Well, that's what Amy thought before the incident. Our tale is set in a very dark forest with crows and foxes. Some say it's normal, others say it's haunted. Mum, even though it's the holidays, mind if I take a walk to clear my head? Asked Amy. She had recently broken up for her 6 weeks holidays and is nervous about moving to year 6. Well, okay, but promise me you won't go into the oak forest, answered her mother. Sure, replied Amy. She grabbed a jacket and headed out the door. She'd always been warned about the oak forest, but never got told why she couldn't go in. She loved adventures and longed to explore its nature. As she skipped past the entrance to the forest, she heard a voice. It came from the inside of the forest. Amy couldn't resist. She went in to see what the noise was. As she turned the corner, she saw a young girl roughly her age. She had long fair hair tied into a plait. Laying on the floor with tears running down her cheeks, she cried, "Please help me. I tripped and got my foot stuck in some nettles." And with that, Amy helped pull the girl out and stand up again. "Thank you. I'm Susie. I came to explore this forest. Care to join me?" She thanked Amy whilst brushing dirt off her jeans. "Yes, of course. I'm Amy. My mum always warns me about this place, but I want to know what all the fuss is about." Settled down, getting deeper into the forest. As it got darker, Amy started to wonder how they would ever find their way back again. She became scared, although Susie showed no sign of fear. Then Amy thought she saw something move. She turned to see what it was. When she turned back around to face Susie, she noticed Susie was gone. Worried and frightened, she called out to see if Susie was near, but there was no answer. She carried on walking the way they were heading, and then she saw Susie walking towards her. "Phew, I thought I'd never find you," exclaimed Amy. "I saw a ghost. I kept hearing noises and movements," cried Susie. "There's no such thing as ghosts." "Are there?" Amy replied, starting to get nervous. "Yes." And with that, Susie disappeared forever. So obviously Susie is the ghost, but I'm kind of thinking that she's also an imaginary friend to keep the girl company while out playing. She's obviously going up to year 6, so I'd say she's about 10 years old. Aw, that's cute. That's really cute. The second story is called The Tired Murderer. Mr. and Mrs. Smith were different in many ways. Mr. Smith was kind and gentle, but tired and annoyed of his wife. Mrs. Smith, however, was mean, greedy and evil. She was forever bossing him around, and he was sick of it. One night, when it was windy and bitterly cold, Mr. Smith lay wide awake listening to his wife snoring loudly. He couldn't stand it no more. He got up and walked across the landing, returning with a small, sharp cooking knife. He then stops as he hears a movement from back in the bed. Mrs. Smith awakes. Without second thought, he pounces and she screams. The dead body falls to the floor. He is dead. I feel like I really like stories that have hidden meanings. Obviously, she killed him because she was the evil one and all that. And the last mini story that's in this book is called The Minute Before Dawn. Creeping down the stairs, I hear it by the chairs. The wind is howling outside. I think I might cry. I'm too afraid to move. There's a huge boom. It's a minute before dawn. It's out on the lawn. I go see it. I'm gone before I see it. Tell my mum it's round. Hope my father was proud. I nearly got the thief and the murderer, I believe. It says a poem by Claudia, written on the 14th of February. So obviously Valentine's Day. And that's it. I don't know why I never continued to fill up this book. Now we're going to move on to the big one, which is The Hunger Games, which I'm really, really excited to read to you. The Hunger Games starring Rue. It's freezing, and of course I've woken with tears down my eyes as I pull the covers over my small, meatless body. Today is the day of the reaping, a place where all kids of each district come together in their centre, and their escort will pull 2 names out of a glass ball couple, a girl and a boy. This is my first year entering the reaping. I'm 12. The oldest in my family of 8. 3 sisters, me, my younger brother, my mother and my father. I remember doing research about Rue in this and her character really so I could really understand how to tell her story. I can't sleep anymore. It's because of the nerves, I guess. There's really nothing to worry about because my name's only being entered once. As for some people, I've heard their names have been entered over 40 times. To calm myself down, I tried to mimic my escort's voice. Lana Tropeth has the same posh, frighteningly cheery voice that can be recognised anywhere that she's from the capital. Hello and welcome to the 74th Hunger Games, and may the odds be ever in your favour, I whisper, giggling quietly. I get up and find a bucket and pour some water from the well in. Then I scrub myself clean from sweat. I brush my thick black hair and pull on a soft pale pink dress that once belonged to my mother. I slip my matching shoes on and then go to wake up my sleeping family. The reaping doesn't start until 2, but I want to spend as much time with my family as possible. Before we know it, I'm hugging my parents and siblings goodbye. My mother slips a string necklace with a wooden star attached to it around my neck. It's a good luck necklace, and as long as it's around your neck, you will never be in danger. We then leave to go to the reaping. While on our way there, I stop at the orchard, where I work every day from sunrise to sunset. I sing my 4-note melody I always sing at work and hear it reply back to me in a sweet whistle from my special friends Mockingjay birds. Sing them a piece and they will repeat it back to you. I can sing with them for hours on end. It's so beautiful and relaxing. As we pass villages, I see pale, white, scared, stiff children coming out of their houses and walking to the centre. Once there, I join a queue and I notice the place is packed. My family go and stand in the watching area. At the front of the line, there is a desk with a person who pricks your finger and then puts a spot of your blood on a piece of paper. They do this and then I am forced to stand with my age group with the girls. After a few minutes, Lana Tropeth takes stage and speaks into the mic. Happy Hunger Games District 11, and may the odds be ever in your favour. Now, just like every year, we show a video, and so here it is. We then watch a video introducing the meaning of the Hunger Games. Once over, Lana carries on talking. Oh, how I love that. Right, shall we begin? As always, ladies first. She then walks over to the glass ball with loads of pieces of paper in. Slowly and carefully, she places her hand inside, mixes around the papers and picks one out. Then returning to the microphone, she opens the card and she says the name. Rue Canotto. My name! My heart stops. One entry against hundreds. I don't move, but all the kids around me make way and room for me, so Lana knows who I am, and then I slowly start to take one small step at a time towards the stage. Come on dear, I don't bite, exclaimed Lana. Oh my, her outfit looks even more funny in person, and if I wasn't so terrified, I would actually be bursting out laughing. Massive cyan blue hair in a sort of beehive look. A lighter blue dress that has about 50 layers on the skirt half. Must be so heavy. And then the heels, oh how painful and high. How old are you, Rue? She asks. I must have taken ages to answer because she has to ask me again for me to make sense of what she's actually saying. 12, I reply through my teeth. Oh my, how young. Does anyone want to volunteer? Anyone? But silence is the only reply, except for all the static noises of my family going nuts at the back. What a shame. Okay, let's continue. We don't have all day. So now for the boys. And then she strolls over to the glass ball and bony hand in, mixing cards up as she goes. Then pulls one out and very nearly skips over to the centre. She then opens up the card and reads the name out. Fresh Wildflower. I find him straight away. It's obvious because everyone stares at him and makes way, just like they did for me. I don't think I've ever seen him before though. Maybe once or twice in the orchard? No, I don't think so. He's big and looks very strong. He could kill me within 10 seconds if he wanted to. Black skin, like me, and he's wearing a blue suit. He's not as slow as I was, but it does take a while to take stage. Come on dear, we really do need to speed things up around here now, Lana protests, but still trying to sound cheery. What surprises all is that Lana can be so cheery even at the most saddest of times. So for that and a few other reasons, like her outfit, I hate her. Fresh is now on stage. You can tell he's trying very hard to maintain his fears and show that he's not afraid and doesn't care. I wish I had that attitude. Maybe he thinks he might win. I hope he does because I'm obviously not going to. Although I will try, and he's from my district, so I do hope he wins. Now, how old are you? Lana asks Fresh, with her back to me. She probably thinks that Fresh has a shot at winning and that he's a step up from me. 16, he replies with a scary tone to his voice. Oh, how marvellous. Okay, we better go. Ladies and gentlemen, District 11 tributes. Everyone claps sadly rather than enthusiastically, except our two families, who are weeping and shouting no. Okay then, come. Lana says only to us and hurries us through the doors to the Wall of Justice. So I'm supposing from now on until the games, our lives are going to be rushed. I've never been in this building before. I've only ever seen it from the centre and always have wondered what's it like inside. Once inside, both me and Fresh are led to different rooms to have time to ourselves, and when our families come to say their goodbyes, they come in here. Once alone, I have a little weep myself. I'm thinking the same thing that everyone has thought in the Hunger Games. Why me? Through the thin walls of the room, I hear Lana talking to our mentor, Julia, about me. Oh, I feel so sorry for her. She's 12. 12 is the youngest of our tributes this year. What strength or power will she have against massive 18-year-olds? And then I hear Julia replies, none. But at least we have Fresh to bring us hope. It's all true, I guess, but I do have some ability. I practice every day at the orchards. One day, whilst I was singing with the mockingjays, I saw that there was a nest where 2 mockingjay birds had laid eggs. It was an amazing experience. I wanted to have a closer look, so I climbed a tree to see them. I realised I'm actually quite good at climbing trees, but then I hear some cracking. The branches I was standing on were breaking. I was so high up in the tree, I knew I'd surely break a bone if I fell. Seeing as I was already at the top of the tree, I couldn't climb any higher. That was until I saw that there was another tree not far from mine. I knew it was risky, but I had to think fast, so I jumped. And it was amazing, flying through the air and landing safely on a firm branch. It was like I was a monkey. And so from then on, I had gotten really good at jumping from tree to tree quickly. And I've also been researching what plants are edible, poisonous, and which can be made to heal you in some way. I find a wooden brush and comb my hair. That's when my visitors arrive. My family rush in and nimbly tip me over as they all run to hug me. Just as the guards shut the door behind them, one says you have 3 minutes. My father nods and joins in the hug. I have a few seconds time with each family member to say goodbye. First is the youngest in the family, Alice. Remember that your big sister may never come back home, but don't cry for me. You have mummy and daddy and all your big sisters and brother for you, I say softly to her. I know you may not understand what's going on, but all you need to remember is that if you need a story told to you or a hug, go to Rosalie, I won't be there. She nods and puts her thumb in her mouth. I then give a brief chat with Rosa May, Rosalie and Thomas, give them a kiss on the cheek and a hug at the end. And then I hug my parents for a long time and give lots of I love yous. My time is up, all too quickly, because before I know it, a guard charges in and hurries them away. I love you all, I shout after them before my door slams shut. Silence is all I can hear and it makes me cry even more than I did before. After about 5 minutes, Lana knocks and asks if I'm ready to go. I open the door instead of replying, and then she does the same to Fresh, and we're on our way. And that is the end of the story. I think it's just like so clever how I wrote all these stories when I was younger. I had so much time on my hands. I could not find time now to even think about a story at the moment or read a book or anything because I just don't have the time, but I do love writing stories. I also once made a book series where I actually like wrote my own books. I put them in book form. I met with an author and I tried to get them published, and it's called My Life as a Spy, and there's 3 books to it and an activity book. I was in about year 5. If you want another video and I can read you those stories, then definitely give this video a thumbs up. I feel like this is like a little story time segment on my channel. And if you guys did enjoy this video as much as I did, and I'd love to hear if you used to write when you were younger, comment down below. Subscribe if you have not subscribed already, and turn on my post notifications so that you are notified every time I upload. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so very much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!